Everything look good?
I think so.
Okay.
That's okay.
Better. And the vanilla can be some.
It wasn't about crazy.
I didn't realize it. Get ready. Welcome everyone to the Nancy and Rick Hour. How's that sound? Cooking with Nancy O. Welcome, welcome. Today I wanted to get you started on something that you will be needing for baking for Christmas, but we're going to get you ready for next Christmas. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm going to teach you how to make some homemade vanilla. And you can see I have a jar here that is almost empty, and it's time to replace this vanilla. And my 2 jars here have been in the basement since April, and I am very excited to share with you how to do this. All you need is, like, I like the seal on this type of jar because it just comes right open and seals right up, and you're good to go. This jar I love because it's a dark color. Now, the reason I had bought vanilla in this years ago, and now I use it for making vanilla because I like the dark color. And that's the one I use for bourbon. So I use a darker jar for my bourbon. This one has vodka in it, and all you need is vanilla beans and vodka, and you are set to go. Or bourbon, and you can even use brandy if you care to try it with rum. You can also do that, but it adds just a little bit of different flavor to everything when you're making it. So all you do to make this is these are vanilla beans. Mine came in a tube like this, and we just take the vanilla bean out and you split them down the middle. They don't have to be cut in half. You just want to open them. So I pre-split this one, and you can see, I don't know how close we can get in on this, but there are little seeds in here. I'm going to kind of show you on the knife here. All those dark things are called seeds, and that's what's going to make a really good vanilla. Now, you want to use about 5 of these vanilla beans in 1 jar to get a good tasting vanilla. And as you can see, mine is very light. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these beans to mine that's already going. But so you would put your vanilla bean in here, and then you're going to top it with your favorite vodka, bourbon, or rum, whichever you prefer, brandy, and then just cover it up and keep it covered. If your jar is shorter, cut your beans in half because you need to have them covered. I only used 1 vanilla bean in these and did not get a dark enough flavor. So as you use your vanilla, it takes about 6 to 12 months, depending on how strong you want it. And as you're using your vanilla, so when you use a little bit out of here, when it gets down a little bit, just add some more of your vodka in it or whatever liquor you used on it. Keep it airtight because otherwise it's going to evaporate. And this will last indefinitely. And you just keep it sealed and covered. And after about a year, you want to replace the beans, and it just keeps going. So since mine are not dark enough, I have decided, would you help me open that I should add more beans to this. So I already split this one. So I'm going to put it right down into the jar, and I'll let it sit a little longer because I have some vanilla on hand. This can be used at this strength. I prefer my vanilla a little bit darker. He's a little over full now. And we put another bean in there. And the same, so this is my vodka one, and this is my bourbon one. So when I start using this one, I'll do the same thing. Now I'm going to split this bean later and put it in here to make this one stronger. But these are actually ready to go. I personally prefer them darker, but they will get darker in time. So when you start yours, I want you to use like 5 vanilla beans. Vanilla beans are not cheap to buy, and I will tell you, it doesn't matter what quality of alcohol you use as far as your vodka and bourbon in that, because you're making vanilla. But this is a good upfront investment, and then they cost what, $5 to $10 per bean.
Yeah.
And then make sure they are not brittle when you buy them, because a brittle bean, that's what happened with mine here. The beans were brittle when I bought them and didn't realize it. So make sure you get a good quality vanilla bean, and then go to take time to put them in there. I keep mine in the basement because it's cool in a dark place. I have a food shelf down there, and you just keep things, keep it out of the light, go down and shake it a few times, a month, or whenever you're down there, give it a little shake, and you will have vanilla for the rest of your life if you just keep adding to it. So the cost is in the upfront with the vanilla bean, but once you get beyond that, you'll have vanilla for the rest of your life. And you know how expensive vanilla is to buy, and this will be all organic and fresh with alcohol. But anyway, and you can see this one is just about empty. So I will start a whole new batch in here. I didn't like the way this one turned out because the beans were dry. So I'm going to use this one up, and I'm going to start over with a batch with brandy. So I'll have bourbon, vodka, and brandy. And I just like the different flavors. It'll change the taste of one cookie recipe using a different flavor of vanilla. And you can never go wrong when you add vanilla to a recipe if you add extra, in my eyes. And I really like the vanilla and cinnamon. Wow, the cleanup crew is causing trouble out front. You hear them barking? Yeah, I don't know what's got them all messed up here. So that is what we are doing with the vanilla bean today. And then I am going to move on to my spaghetti squash. Let me grab it. So this little fun guy, all the squash I'm working with, I grew on my tower garden. And I'm very excited about my spaghetti squash. I have honestly never eaten spaghetti squash. You want to move those over for me, Ben? And I thought it would be fun for me to try spaghetti squash on live Facebook. Okay, this is how big my squash grew. Now, he did not get as ripe as I wanted him because he got bumped off the vine, but he grew on my tower garden, and we had to put a support under him to hold him. But the grandkids went climbing through there and bumped him one day, and that's just fine because grandkids can do no wrong. So we cut them open, and the first thing you want to do is I like to prep things when I get started on recipes. So today we're doing a kale and spaghetti squash recipe. So as far as the spaghetti squash goes, this baby is chock full of all kinds of nutrients. I am so big on putting positive nutrients in my body now. And not saying I don't enjoy my little sweet once in a while, but you got to have the good stuff going in before the bad. So this has like a lot of vitamin C, we have vitamin B, and it has an excellent source of fiber. Let me move this so they can see better. Okay, and the fiber is so good because it gives you just really good gut health. And the beta carotene that comes in here helps with your cell from damage. So again, squash is a great vegetable to be eating, and I am trying all kinds of new ways because I think it's exciting that I can grow it on a tower garden and not have it vining all over my yard. So, and we cut this open, and all we did is you clean it out just like you did the pumpkin, right? And then when we pre-cooked ours in a 400-degree oven. Is that what we did here? Let me double check my recipe. Yes, 400-degree oven. And what I did is I cleaned it out, and then we just spritzed it with very little olive oil and just a pinch of salt, because too much salt will make it too watery. You put it face down and poke holes in it. Rick didn't want me to forget about poking holes. And then you bake it. Now, the recipe calls for 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to hand this over to Rick. I don't think I need the cutting board either anymore. And I'm going to tell you, if you get a smaller one, this guy, we also grew on the tower garden. We had 2 of these. You can see where we poked the holes. They only took about 20 minutes to cook. And you don't want to overcook these, because what you want to do when they're finished is you're going to string it like spaghetti. Let's see if I can do that. See how that just strings like that? Isn't that beautiful? I just think this is amazing that this looks like spaghetti. So we like to prep all of our food before we start cooking. What we do is we get all the ingredients out. We have everything cut up, pre-measured, and ready to go because it makes the cook time so much faster. So we're going to move over to the stove, and I'm going to have Rick show you how he did the pine nuts. We toasted the pine nuts and our chickpeas because I wanted to have a little toasted flavor on them. So Rick is over there pretending to be cooking. We pre-toasted those. Sorry guys, you got to be a little funny here. So what he's doing is I just spritz the pan with some cooking oil, and then he just toasted them on a high temperature on the pan there, and they toasted for us. We also have some chickpeas we did the same way. Now, today I decided to use canned chickpeas, and we're only using half of it, so we toasted the whole can, and we are going to use the rest in our salads. So I'm very excited to have chickpeas in my salad because they're so good for you. So that's how you pre-cook your squash to get it ready. So why not do this when you have some free time? It's ready to go. You could do this on a Sunday for a Tuesday meal or whatever. Okay, so now Rick has got his other fry pan going there, and we're going to walk you through the recipe. He is going to take, I like using this toasted sesame seed oil I found. I just love the flavor it's adding. So he's going to, go ahead and get started, Rick. He's going to coat the pan with the sesame seed oil all around. So when we start the cooking, it's going to not stick with anything, and it's going to add a little bit of flavor. I like that toasted nut. Who doesn't love sesame seeds, right? Because they're on all kinds of baked goods. So let's get them into our cooking. So now he's going to, I have one shallot, and you'll notice when we put this in the oven, on the stove, I left this garlic clove whole. And the purpose for that is it's going to come back out, but you're going to have the flavor. So you're going to stick those in the pan. He's going to start cooking this for us so you can see what's going on. And he is going to add the shallots. We have one shallot in there, and I sliced it very thinly for him. And then we added the whole garlic. Are we ready for our next? I'm going to give him some rosemary to add. And I'm going to add the pinch of salt and pepper over there. Not that I don't trust him, but I don't know if I do. Yeah, actually a little more. Oh boy, that looks good. Sorry, I had my back to you guys. Okay, now, as soon as that, we got this on a high heat, and as soon as those shallots, which I'm really liking using shallots because they're not as intense as onion, but let me tell you, this one smells pretty strong today. So he's going to cook that until that just starts to soften, and then we're going to add the chickpeas. How's that doing it? Are they getting soft yet?
A little bit.
Little bit, he says. So this is our chickpeas. Maybe I'll go over by him. No, you won't be able to hear me. Sorry. The chickpeas here, and we toasted them in the fry pan just with a little bit of spray and see how they are. And so this is the extras that I'm going to enjoy in my salad later. So that's what I'm really excited about. So now, how we doing? You ready for the chickpeas?
I think we are.
Okay, here's your chickpeas. Oops, shouldn't have thrown that one, but I did. Okay, so that's the chickpeas going. And something else I wanted to tell you about the pine nuts that we're going to put in there. This is an excellent source of iron. So why not add it to other things like your salads and that? Wouldn't that be yummy? Okay, so now that we're doing that, of course, we could have added those at the end because we roasted them. So if you roast your chickpeas, you can actually wait to the end to do this. So now we're going to take that, after this is all blended, we're going to take that garlic clove out because we don't want a really, really strong garlic taste in there. If you prefer a strong garlic taste, mince your garlic and go ahead and add it as a minced garlic, but that is definitely a personal preference. So we're going to take that out. You get it out? Okay, and now we're going to add, it says 2 cups of kale. I have a heavy 2 cups here. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice to it. See, we have everything pre-weighed. Okay, he's got the stuff going over there. I think the only thing we're going to need now is now, as soon as the kale starts to wilt, I have to catch Rick because he likes to add too much. How's it looking, babe? Getting close, he says. All right, so I think it's pretty close. Now, do you want to bring it over here and I'll put the towel down and we can show them how beautiful this is going to look? Now, I think that I would want more kale in here personally. So now we're going to add some Parmesan cheese. And you know, there's no specific amount. Add what you want. We're going to toss this all together. And you have the pine nuts are in the, I think let's wait to add the pine nuts till we plate it. Oh, we didn't add the spaghetti squash. That's what's missing. Gotta have the spaghetti squash. That's the purpose of the recipe, right, guys? Oh, look at that. Yeah, I think I need more kale in here. That doesn't look like enough kale to me. But look at that. I want more greens. Now, this is a good way to soften your kale, too. Another tip I can give you with kale is if you're eating it in a salad, all you have to do is add a little olive oil to it and massage it with some sea salt, and it's delicious. Okay, let's put let's put this on the plate. Can you imagine a beautiful piece of protein next to that? Some salmon or chicken or even a piece of beef. Yeah, go ahead and take that. The pine nuts, we're going to top this with pine nuts, and you can see just how beautiful that is. Oh, yeah, I need more in there. So isn't that just beautiful? I am just thrilled with this. I cannot wait to taste this. So when we get our tasting forks out, and if you want more cheese, add more cheese. You could add more salt. It's all your preference. Guys, whatever recipe I give you, feel free to adjust because everything is towards your palate and you want it to taste good. And Rick, if you want to bring a fork over to taste this, that would be great. And I'm going to get started on our dessert. Oh, yes. Okay, you guys ready for this? I've never had squash. And I want to see. I love it. It has a great crunch to it, but I didn't get any of the pine nuts with it. This is delicious, guys. And the lemon, do you taste the lemon in it? I don't want that big of a piece of lettuce while I'm talking.
It's another good recipe.
Guys, this is a keeper. Definitely. Okay, you can't finish that till we're done. He snuck to the side to eat more. Okay, we talk about protein bites a lot, guys, and I'm really embracing these protein bites for Christmas this year because I work really hard on putting good nutrition into my diet, and to be honest with you, I don't want to feel yucky. And what I'm noticing is I kind of cheated a lot over the weekend and I have felt very sluggish. So that's not going to happen at Christmas for me. I want you guys to feel good through the whole holidays. So once again, I'm pulling up the protein bite. This I think is the absolute favorite. This is called Snickerdoodle Bites. Who loves a Snickerdoodle cookie? So I have the bowl here and I'm telling you, this is so easy. We have oatmeal in here. You can use gluten-free. If you don't want to use gluten-free, that's fine. I have some cinnamon in here. I have some Complete by Juice Plus. Remember the Complete that we share all the time? Let's see. I want it on this side so you can see it. This stuff is what I drink every morning for breakfast, and I put all kinds of goodies in it. And now I'm learning to make wonderful little dishes with it. So inside of here, we have the just a scoop of the protein bite. So you're getting all those good yummy things in there. I keep losing my recipe because I want to make sure I tell you guys the right way to do this. I have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. We always use the no sugar added peanut butter. If you don't have that and you use what you have on hand, you're still doing a great job. Don't cut yourself short on that, okay? And actually what I did, when I pre-measured, I just added my vanilla right in here, so I knew I had all the ingredients together. And then the next thing is we're gonna add some maple syrup, because maple syrup is, oh, that was the spoon I gave you, wasn't it? Maple syrup is really, really good. Better for you than using, you know, plain sugar.
I need it.
Yeah, I'll use this. And also we're going, oh, no, I'm not. I was going to use a spoon that had some spaghetti squash on it. So all we're going to do here is we are going to mix this up, and it mixes up really nice, very easy. And then after we're done mixing it, we're going to form it into balls about this size. I'll let you mix it. And what I have in here in this container is Snickerdoodles you always roll in cinnamon and sugar, right? So we're going to take 2 tablespoons of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, my fault. And then I use coconut sugar. And it is, this is the first time I've used coconut sugar. And I look at the color, it's brown. And I thought that's so cool. It'll give it a nice brown look to it. And then when we're done, these were rolled in regular sugar, but we're going to roll these in the coconut.
Did you add the water?
Did I add the water? Nope, doesn't need it. And then we're going to just add, we're going to roll these guys up and roll them in here. If I can get them to stick together. They are a little tricky to work with, so be patient, because you know anything healthy is going to take a little bit more work. And look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. So what I'm going to do is this is a Christmas dish that was made for me by a very dear friend who has passed on. And I thought, well, how nice not to serve it in a special dish like that. So if you have a nice little candy dish or a little platter, put them on there and just make it look pretty. And everybody will want it because it just looks festive. So they won't even know they're eating healthy. You don't even have to tell them. But you will have to tell them that there's peanut butter in it. So I hope that you really enjoyed my recipes today. The homemade vanilla is something that I have been doing for years and years, and it has saved me so much money because I do so much baking. But why not? If you love to cook or bake or just curious or crafty, why not make your own vanilla? You will have it for infinity, and you just keep replenishing it. We have the recipe on the website. If you need more information, let me know what you want. Next week, I actually am going to make a very interesting recipe for you. And I have decided that we are going to make chili next week. And I want to tell you how I use up ingredients out of my refrigerator to make my chili. And you're going to think this is crazy, but next week you've got to tune in for what I'm going to do for you, because it's going to be absolutely fun. I'm going to teach you how to sneak vegetables into your chili to where your children will never know there's vegetables in it. Or if you have a loved one, I did this for my brother when he was very sick with cancer. I made chili for him because he loved to eat it. And I was able to get so much protein in there for him and so many good vitamins, and he never knew the difference. So this is what I'm looking forward to sharing with you next week, is how to make chili. And I will be adding vegetables that I grew off my tower garden over this summer and have put them in the freezer. So this is going to be really exciting. And of course, I will probably have another protein bite next week for you. So we have a really, really busy month coming up for everybody, and you can make these protein bites ahead of time and freeze them. That's always exciting to do. And I will teach you how to pre-do things. When I make chili, I make huge pots, and I'll tell you all about that and how to have meals made for through the holidays while you're really busy. So if you are interested in any information on any of the recipes, give me a holler. If you need to get your hands on some of the Juice Plus by Complete, This is a really, really good product to have on hand for smoothies in the morning and fast meals. Just reach out to me. You can reach me at nancyocares.com. I have my website up now, and I just look forward to hearing from all of you. If you have any tips on what you want to hear me cook, any special vegetable or whatever is you're looking forward to, I'll be happy to do that for you. So we will see you next week. Reach out to me. I love talking about the Tower Gardens, and I am looking very forward to teaching you guys next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.
Bye. Still making protein bites.